My name is Rhapsody, welcome back to Monster Train, Last Divinity. It's all up in there in the title, I imagine. Covenant 25 random. Double copy of Draft in the base deck, Seraph the Diligent. We do have Little Fade, 2 copies of Energy Siphon, and a single Memento Mori. Interesting. There's a couple different versions of Little Fade we could use, but they might actually be influenced by our artifact here. Mold Braces. Ah, okay, so we don't have the spike path, Lol Icarus. So these paths have been changed since we've last played them, or at least Eternal Fade has been changed since we last played it. It now has Quick, and it gains lower amounts of HP consistently. We also have Firelight here. On Extinguish, apply 5/5 and Burnout 2 to friendly units. Let's actually have a quick look at the upgrade path for that, because I do want to play with Firelight a bit more. Applies 15/5, 25/5. So it actually still only gives Burnout 2 consistently. Interesting. Well, that makes it a little less valuable for me. Because I'm going to have to reform it consistently as well. It's 1 capacity though. Merchant of Steel, Remnant Banner directly next to it. Immediately what I'm feeling like is try and lean into Remnant. Try and have the Little Fade be a chump blocker a lot of the time. Whether it chump blocks a single attack or more than that, you know, really going to depend on the time. And then try and get a Remnant Banner with a Paraffin Enforcer on strike, give friendly burnout units rage, and then put the drafts behind it. The drafts do have... There is one problem with the drafts here already, and that's that they are not banner units. However, I could actually just enhance any other unit with a draft, giving it Burnout 1 and Multi-Strike. I like the idea of trying to use Firelight here. I haven't really dug into playing with it much. Seems like a fun time. Enemies Enter with Spikes 3. Unfortunately, Enemies Enter with Spikes 3 feels like it's probably a pretty good way to lose all my drafts, but then I've also got the primitive molds. I think I should be able to do this. Setup's gonna be weird. Because we want the Little Fade to die. Definitely kill that one there. Pop Little Fade down here. Get these train suits a wee bit more buff. I like it. Mold 1 final time. You've got Burnout 2, unfortunately, which means you won't actually be able to kill the... Yeah, that's a problem. Hang on. 2, 5, and 3 is not 11. Does not an 11 make? So I think my best go is... honestly, something like this. Prevent that top line damage and then just hope that there's enough damage here. There is not enough damage here, unfortunately. The front line... actually, it looks like the front line does die and extends the lifetime of each of these two. Handily. Dang. Yeah, that wasn't perfectly handled, certainly. Worked out okay in the end, but it does prevent me from using the Memento Mori for the kill here. That said, that shouldn't be too problematic for us. Nice. Wasn't difficult at all. Molten Casement. Hallowed Drippings as well. Oh my god, another draft too. God, we're definitely taking something here. Is it just a Hallowed Drippings? I think it might be. Try and just support that floor a bit better. Drafts are all happy to be in this deck. In fact, that actually also increases our consistency of drawing drafts. So I do want it for that reason. Ice Tornado, Titan's Gratitude, Energy Siphon. We have 2 Energy Siphons already in the base deck. I could easily take a Titan's Gratitude just as some damage. We go over for the Remnant unit. Multi? Endless. Interesting. Interesting. Stealth 1 and Extinguish gain +4 permanently. So if I put a Draft into that unit, it would have Burnout 1. It would also have Endless, and it would have Multi-Strike. So it's a good damage spell, and eventually I can buff up its Burnout with Lil Fade to keep it alive on the board. Actually really like that as a plan. Although in the interim, I will give it Endless so that I can sacrifice it on a different floor a bunch of times to try and get as many triggers of its Extinguish out. I'm looking for... Am I really gonna reroll looking for only Multi-Strike right now? +10s would go on drafts. Multi-Strike. Value Stone Memento Mori? I think that's probably good enough to still do. Engage the Pact. Sack a draft into the Bounty. And then, is there anything to make intrinsic here? I think not. Alright. That's pretty good. We probably end up trying to dupe that. Do we have a dupe here? We do not have a dupe here necessarily. I just need that to die some. I don't need to buff you. Still can't project the damage through the back line to that collector. Well, now it feels like Lil Fade is just gonna definitely end up living. Sure. I mean, I want this to extinguish as many times as possible. It just... There's a little fade. That'll get our kill. Yeah, I need to make sure that I kill it more times quickly. Good ball. We could take Helical Chrysalis here. I don't think I will. I have a lot of frontline damage already. Maybe the Reformed, Wickless Tycoon, Siren of the Sea. I really do think we're actually just focused around duping the one we already have. Take the money there. And if I'm focused around duping the one I already have, what I really want to do is go over to a Hersel's Hoard. Try and find 50% more health. That's not going to help us out here. So we'll take a Sinner's Salve. Could actually end up being pretty useful for us over the long run. Twin Stone. Not really too many things I want to Twin Stone. True Stone would be okay right now, but okay enough to justify taking. It's a different question altogether. What rare draft pick would I take? Rare Awoken, giving us Channel Song would be great. Awoken Rail Spike's always good. Wildwood Tome. Would I want to make my unit quick? Yeah. Yep. It's only one of the only ways that I can accomplish that right now, outside of getting a Pyrestone housing and then another upgrade. Definitely seems like it's got its value based on that. Units deals damage to the front line. Speaking of enemy units dealing damage to the front line. Let's pop you down there. I do want Little Fade to be spawned, and I also do want Little Fade to die. I think I need quick on anything, though. And I don't want extra trash in the reform pool, because I've got random reforms rather than directed reforms. So the Constructed Explosive is the one that's trying to blow us up here. Which I can prevent. Then deal damage to the front line so that I get project my damage across the line. Get him. Do I go? I mean, I do printed mold. It's just where do I put it? Put it on the back line here at the very back. Oh, the Bounty Stalker. Oh, because they hit it first. No. All right. The Bounty Stalker eventually did start having to live, so we always knew this was coming. I just hoped it wasn't so soon. Yeah, we got a little fade again. There you go. Couple little fade back again. That's a lot of damage right there. If only I could have died to the thorns at the same time. Would have been lovely. Hallowed Halls. Kill friendly units, reform random units this floor until it exceeds its capacity. Sure. There's the Paraffin Enforcer I was looking for. So the ideal floor would be Lil Fade, the Bounty Stalker with a Draft in, and then the Paraffin Enforcer with a Draft in. Let's do it. Do I want to get capacity to put more things on that floor, or do I want to get more energy or more draw? I think energy is the only one I'm not considering right now. We should go capacity. Get more value out of overstacking that floor. So that means dupe the draft here. That is to say, sorry, the Bounty Stalker. Okay. Remnant unit shows us a Paraffin Thug. Probably not. Bit late, and most of our things are accounted for. We don't want Conscription Notice, because that's just another unit in the reform pool we don't really want there. Lost Luggage, though. Set up almost everything on turn 1 consistently. Seems pretty good. Yep. We've got a lot of Pyre health, so we could even leak the unit here and still be okay. Not that I think that's a foregone conclusion that we will do. But if it were, we could. So you're giving him haste. So you give the 15 to this, 25. So it's the front. Okay, yeah. So if we energy siphon Frozen Lance, we should get the kill in the back line. There's a Primitive Mole back. Fade goes in front. Another Bounty Stalker behind. There we go. Really just shredding these enemies now. So here's where the Paraffin Enforcer would love to go out, but you're going to have to be in a draft or the inverse before we do that. Actually, you being in a draft would solve our space issues again. What's your essence? Apply burnout 3 to friendly units. And it gives burnout 2. Wow, that, yeah, actually, we just put that into a draft instead. Real enthused about that. I love the ability to kill my own units more. The problem is if I do this kill here, these are endless, so they don't actually go to the draw pile. Sorry, to the reform pile. They just go back to the top of the deck. Hallowed Halls actually might be completely awful for us. It might be the worst thing we could have gotten, actually. Oops. This is an opportunity to get 2 more kills on them, though. Fine. All kills on them are good kills on them. This shredding through enemies, I just wonder how it's going to scale against the Last Divinity in particular. Subsuming Blade. That's a good way to kill my own little Fade. I really like that, actually. No. Can easily pass over all of those. We're basically just doing a single stream deck here. Would I dupe anything else in this deck at this point? Not really. Another multi-strike. Damn, that definitely goes on the draft. That is gonna have the Paraffin Enforcer put inside of it later. Do I give Burnout 1 to something here? Quick? I can give it quick. Look a lot like that if I did. I'll take the money. I think I'm also actually going to purge at least 2 of the shiny stewards at this point. Yeah, you don't need to be in here. And also, I find it difficult to actually play them because, again, they go into the reform pool, the random reform pool from which we are pulling. Enemy sent to a spell shield. That's not going to be great for us. But I think we probably can account for it. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, we lose a lot of damage on the Bounty Stalker here. That is to say, we lose a lot of damage in not constantly being able to kill them. It just has to get a kill however it can. Nice holds. Finally, we got another kill on one of our own units, though. The heavily upgraded draft, unfortunately. I mean, I do want my own units to die, so I'm very comfortable with this. fewer of them than I would have otherwise hoped. Died there. Let's get you out. I have the ability to hit you with a primitive mold next turn. Making sure that I have... Ooh. There we go. This one back. So going to be sweeping through us right now. Get this burnout on the floor. Sure. Drop. Drop. We'll end up doing that next Flora game as well. Plus the Momentum Worry with spell weakness. Nice. That was probably one of the most dangerous enemies for us as well, and it worked out in the end, so I feel a lot more comfortable. Wicked Blaze with a specific target reform. It's a good buff too, especially given how many multi-strikes I have. I need to go to a Merchant Magic. The Divinate Temple is going to sack the Paraffin Enforcer into the upgraded Giraffe. Extreme Stone, True Stone. Unlikely to really keep the cards that those are going to be consistent. Well, True Stone on a Subsuming Blade. I could see that. I could see that. But more than that, I can see like holdover reduction of cost. Holdover reduction of cost. I see. I see. What would I even be rerolling for right now? Reduction of cost on Wicked Blaze. That's worth it. That's worth. Probably should have held off until this, though. High health. Enemies enter with Frostbite too, sure. Yeah, occasionally that's gonna just drop an enemy for me. It's very late, so it's not gonna drop many enemies for me. Like Sycophants, I guess? Next fight, are they gonna be Sycophants? Probably not. One, two, three. I may actually want an extra energy after this fight. So we go... But I have a Reform in hand as well. It's Draft. Paraffin Enforcer. Lull Fade. Kill Little Fade. Which amps us enough damage there. Let's reform the Draft. Nice. We lose that whole floor now. Good. Subsuming Blade for kill. I will want to remove that floor from time to time. Nice. So start getting some energy siphoning you. Getting ready for a later date. That's our little fade. Burn out. You going front. More energy siphon. That's already projected a huge amount of damage to the back line. Pretty excited. Although my hold of a Subsuming Blade is gone. What happened to that? I don't remember doing anything to make that happen differently. So I'm going to cast these two to make it more likely that Primitive Mold is the card that gets held by the Icicle Fracture. You come down here. Yeah. I'm just going to pump through a bunch of damage to you. Summon Lil Fade. This isn't going to be enough. Oh my god, it's just not enough to kill Lil Fade. Oh, it's not enough to kill anyone. Except for a draft. If I play the draft, I gotta do that. I gotta start getting buffs on that Subsuming Blade. Okay, now it can kill that, and then I primitive mold you to bring you back, play you again. And there we go. We already had the kill, but that's gonna be more important later on. Ice and Spike. It's very good. Burnout extension on that floor. We want to give that permafrost so that we can play it at the right time. My turn one isn't always going to demand as much as it currently has, and obviously Light of the Seraph so that I can dupe the ridiculous draft that we have would be really good. But honestly, it's between Fel's Remorse and Light of the Seraph right now. I don't think we have any draw gems in this. You get so much stronger fitting another Light of the Seraph. Fitting another unit on that floor. Fine. Fine. Energy is going to be the price we pay, basically. Friendly units gain Rage 3 whenever they lose a stack of Burnout. 100%. That needs to come along with us. 7 energy on the first! Well, that solves the problem we had. I thought we had a problem, but apparently what we have is a solution. Create an armor effect, a spikes effect, a sap effect. I don't really think I want this. Maybe I take the sap effect and just make something I can target enemies with. To send them an effect that increases capacity. Huh. Alright then. Well, we got another capacity gem. Firelight level 3. I'm deeply invested in this deck, regardless of whether or not it wins or loses. This is a fun way to play. We're going to get extra capacity on this bottom floor. I have no self-kill here. There's our extra capacity. Still can't really protect much damage through the back line, eh? Oh, I know what we do. We cast both of those so that we definitely have Dripfall for the next hand, and then we have the ability to Dripfall the Shadewing if we need to. Not going to be able to kill that Collector. That Dripfall prevents that hit, actually. Are they really going to let you go past? Not keen on it, but I think I will. I want to just give Burnout 4 to my whole line right now. Yep. Am I just accepting 39 damage to that top liner? Actually, it's going to be 45. Because it feels like that's what we're doing right now. I mean, how would I even account for it otherwise? No real way for me to. Didn't love that. The extra bounty stalker down. From to mold our way into another little fade. And do I want to trigger my own little fade here? Ten damage to front enemy unit. Oh, I just need to kill the enemies. Probably follow up continuing that this turn. Okay. Yeah, we get those two out. I can hold over the subsuming blade by casting it, or even by not casting it right now. Nice. Still only got the burnout 1 on you. Feels like I'm taking more damage on that top line right now. I mean, this only has to be replayed next turn. So I don't need to kill my... I need to kill my little fade this turn, that is. Bounty Stalker in the back line, which actually causes me to take more damage rather than less. I mean, I could subsuming blade my own now. But if we just kill that, we're comfy. Yeah, I don't know how this does against the TLD. The TLD. The Last Divinity. Votivary just has Endless on. No, thank you. Fine with all of those. And again, fine with all of those. Decent amount of money. Pretty pleased with the income here. So the Hellvent here is for the Paraffin Enforcer with all the buffs on. We're still looking for removals. Holdover. We already have one holdover card. I think what we really want here is just 2 cost reductions. We have one holdover card and we don't have any draw gems, which means that after we're holding over that card, we're only seeing 4 new cards per cycle, which is real low. It's pretty rough for us. For you. I may end up avoiding all of that. Round plus 3 stacks of burnout each time it's applied. Thank you. It's exactly what I was looking for. Reroll here. Spells get an extra upgrade slot. That's actually incredible too. We now get to reduce the cost on Subsuming Blade to be free every turn that we play it. I think I do still just want cost reductions. Energy is definitely by far our biggest problem. Wicked Blaze being free is pretty good. Alright, Seraph. The spell card plays each turn gets consumed. Gotta make sure I play around that. Okay. We'll consume the energy siphon here. Play Little Fade, we kill Little Fade, we primitive mold Little Fade, we play Little Fade. Nice. Do I want to manually kill my own little fate every turn and give you quick? I think so. I'll cast that so that I hold on to this for the next turn, giving me a spell to cast and consume happily. Actually, this one could just be play the other Bounty Stalker in the back line, then hit a Wax and Spike, and I think it will be. This is already going to consume anyway, so I might as well do that. And then... I mean... Whoop! That accidentally prevented Little Fate from dying. It wasn't what I was hoping to do there, but... It happens. It happens. Let's take that kill, get that revival. You mind coming down here, bud? Kill my own unit, the mold, put it back out. I could also kill it again with the Subsuming Blade. Because we've got everything quick, the Subsuming Blade is how we get that back, right? Strip for you. Go for the Subblade there. Oh, you have 5 more turns of stealth. Okay, so I couldn't hit you if I tried. And I know that because I tried. Yeah, there you go. I'm gonna move you away, and now you'll die to your frostbite. Let's kill there. Use the one that isn't already frozen in my hand. Kill you. I mean, look. When it works, it works. And this definitely works. Let's get sap so that I have the space for another Paraffin Enforcer. With my unit getting more HP for it, and then get another little Fate pop back on that floor. Let's go. Kill you. Resummon you. Then play you. That'll do it. I'm even gonna kill you up there. It's kind of a nemesis of mine. Yeah, our damage scale's so high. Enemies with spikes, enemies with sweep. Tramples on the bottom line from TLD. Is that gonna be a problem? Feels like that's quite unlikely to be a problem. If anything, that'll just help us trigger the little fade a little more commonly. Can't kill my own unit yet. I mean, they're all dying, the ones with the incants, so I'm not too worried about that. It's just I want to make sure that I hold the Wicked Blaze in my hand at the end of the turn. It's the right card to go on reforming with. Okay. So now this one is the Wicked Blaze. Get all those out. I hope I don't end up having to relocate to the top line, because that's really not a good place for us to be. Uh-oh. $50-50 debt. Like, that'll get all of them, but it's not going to be in stealth for long. Get really good damage against Chain decided there, though. Top floor's not looking too good. 3 available in the pool, so we kill our own bounty stalker and then get 3 units up here. Personally kill you, which means the Eclipse Guardian's going to the top line there. We have to reposition to the top if we survive this, which we don't. Yeah. The enemy's having ridiculous health stats that I just wasn't ready to meet. Was always what I felt my my downfall was going to be for there. I could have had, on those units, you know, 5 HP. I could have had 500. I could have had 5 HP. I could have had 50 HP. It wouldn't really have made too much of a difference to them. What they wanted to do is be stealthed and be quick. So if we had the ability to make one of them quick with the Wildwood Tome, that really would have helped. How thick was the deck by the end? We were only drawing 4 a turn, so it felt a lot thicker than it was, because oftentimes I will take draw. God, it really doesn't just give you a card count, does it? All right, 5, 5, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. 29, we've got 3 priority draws in the deck. And a holdover. Yeah. Oh, and 10 cards on turn 1. Okay, so suddenly it's a little bit variance that we didn't see the speed there. But even the speed, it would have had to go on a unit that was then going to live for the rest of the fight, right? Because if the unit died after it got the speed, it wasn't going to come back with the speed. It wasn't enhanced with speed. Although that terminology is deprecated for the game as it currently stands. That's... Honestly, I'm still really, really pleased with that run. We got to do some really cool stuff in the Paraffin Enforcer drafts there. We got to play with Bounty Stalkers with drafts on the inside as well as Endless. We had them scale their stats pretty ridiculously high. I'm really happy with it. That worked out basically as much as I would have hoped for. The thing that would have saved us... the ability to generate consistent stealth, though we passed down a Mortal Encasement super early on, and we passed down a Shrouded in Smoke later on. Neither of those would have been ways to do it consistently, though. I would have needed to have another unit that I was intending on resurrecting and killing every single turn if I wanted to do with a Mortal Encasement. I would have had to like, honestly, I couldn't have held another holdover card. Another holdover card would have been death for us. With only 5 draw a turn. That's a shame. That's a shame, but still very happy to have piloted that deck while I did. For the moment, my name is Rhapsody. The name of the game has been Monster Train: Last Divinity. Hopefully you've been enjoying yourselves, and hopefully we'll see you next time.